Hey everybody, David Nuno here. TexAgs Rewind presented by our good friends at Yeti. Nick Savage helped me out this morning. Nick, it started off not a fun show because Aggie baseball has been struggling, and then we kind of looked at a lot of things in Aggie athletics recently. That being said, there are positives, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not that, like OB said, it's just, it's not a conference game. Those conference games are what's going to matter at the end of the day.
So what did we have on the show today? Because I know you're a producer extraordinaire, director. You do it all. What did we have?
Well, we had Olin Buchanan, of course, the first full hour of OB. Had football takeovers, John Harris, also Houston Texans sideline reporter and your good friend. Former A&M outfielder J.B. Moss checked in for the first time this season. We kind of got his thoughts. I honestly didn't know he was doing color, so that was cool to hear.
Yeah.
He's doing that with Andrew Monaco. And Kendal Rogers, D1 Baseball, chimed in kind of the national perspective on Aggie baseball.
It's like a party back there, dude.
It's kind of hard sometimes because they're just, yapping, and I'm trying to focus, but I want to participate too, so it's a challenge.
Look at Kay Nagley just dancing away. Good old Kay. And there's Kennedy Cavan. There's Anna Rosa Peterson. And there's Richard Zane.
They're throwing
Richard
crap
Zane.
at me.
And,
not the first time.
All right, just watch the videos, folks. That's it. Watch it now. Go. A game where I think Texas could have put on a lot more runs. They had, 15 runners left on base.
They had a bases loaded with no out in, the third or the fourth inning. And kid Sexton came in and pitched him out of it.
Sexton played well. He did. He pitched well. But overall, not the team we thought we were getting. And yes, there's time left, but you've hit that point.
Yeah. Well, and that's about all they've hit.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest. I mean, the pitching's been a letdown, but so has the bat. When you've got guys that you're absolutely counting on that have a history of doing well, Targash and Werner, and go down the list. There's about 4 of them that are hitting 212 or less in the last. I looked. Richard Zane shared it in the last 10 games or something. Those are your studs. They've got to deliver, and if they don't, how long do you wait?
Well, here I got some notes from Richard Zane's column or his report last night. Trevor Warner, Ryan Targash were combined 1 of 7 with 4 strikeouts in that game. Then he goes on to say, or actually right before it, he says, against Power 5 competition, veteran players like Warner, Targash, Jordan Thompson, this is against Power 5 competition this season, 7 for 70, 3 RBI, and 36 strikeouts.
So they're hitting 100%. 7 for 70.
Yeah.
The pitching has to be better too, no doubt. The bullpen is, who knows what you're going to get. But, there's certain guys you're just counting on, and they're not delivering.
Yeah. And I don't want to say I'm surprised that the starting pitching has struggled as much as it has. I am surprised some of the bats have been quiet. I understand, you've got guys who've been in and out with injury, and you've got young players playing. I'm not totally surprised at some of these early SEC games that they have lost. I'm not, because it's a tough schedule.
Probably 2 of the better teams and maybe the 2 best.
Came out, was it this morning, last night, that the owners, I guess, agreed to multiple Thursday night games, and players are not loving it. Johnny, we knew this was going to come at some point, right? It's just football is. I mean, I'm surprised we don't see it every single day of the week in the NFL, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and maybe that's coming. I mean, think about when we were in high school. We got a Monday night game and a Sunday night game, and I think Thursday night was not a big deal at that point. I mean, it was like everybody played on Sunday, and then you played a Monday night game, and then in December we've got Saturday now, Thursday night games. Here's the thing, and this is going to sound strange. I've talked to enough guys, coaches, players over the years, and they understand that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is tough. But the couple things that it does, number one, the players kind of like it because they get an extra bye. So they like having that extra weekend. So that does help the back end. The coaches know on a short week, there's only so much that they can do. There's only so much they can put in. So they have to simplify the game plan a little bit. They have to simplify things. And sometimes I think that makes coaching and playing a lot better and more effective. Their bodies, it's hard. It's tough. I mean, seeing the guys come in on Friday after the game, and if you travel on a Thursday night, Oh, good Lord. So it's tough. But look, Bezos is paying $1 billion, $1 billion for it. You don't think the NFL is going to listen to what he has to say? So, I mean, he doesn't. Why should Bezos, with his money, why should he care whether the players are upset or the coaches are upset or not? Honestly, yeah, I think there are going to be some that they're loud and boisterous, but there are also some players like, oh, we got the Thursday night game this week. All right, cool. They walk through the week of practice. They don't hit anybody. They just walk through the practice. They play the game Thursday, and then they get an extra bye. So there are actually a lot of players, and I don't know how many of them will voice their opinion, but there are actually a lot of players that don't mind it. They don't love it, but they don't mind it either.
It is dire straits for both, right? Like both programs need this series. Like these are two of the top teams, well, expected top teams in the country that are really in the cellar in the SEC West.
You're exactly right. And listen, it points to the depth and the quality of this league. I mean, everyone 3 weeks ago was talking about Texas A&M facing the number 1, number 2, and number 3 teams respectively to begin their conference slate. And by the time they play them, they're facing number 1 LSU, number 12 Tennessee, and then an unranked Ole Miss. I mean, think about how crazy that is and how crazy that can change in just 3 short weeks. And that speaks to the quality and the depth of the league. And you look up, and A&M's 1-5, and Ole Miss is 0-6. And look, that target number to make the NCAA regional is about 500 in conference play. You need to go 15-15 to give yourself a chance. And you're going to look up, and you're going to be, you're already behind the ball. So as you said, both teams, 6 games in are already feeling somewhat desperate. So, this series is very, very important, and even more emphasis to get Nathan Detmer right, because he's got to be good Friday night.
How surprised have some of the veteran bats been this season? I'm just going to give you this line from Richard Zane's article yesterday. Trevor Warner and Ryan Targac were combined 1 for 7 yesterday with 4 strikeouts. And against Power 5 competition, Trevor Warner, Ryan Targac, Jordan Thompson are 7 for 70 with 3 RBIs and 36 strikeouts.
Man, I really don't know what to say. It's been disappointing. I hate to say that, but it's just the truth. You have hope because those guys have shown you that they can do it. Those guys have shown you that they've done it before. So it gives you hope that they can do it again. Listen, hitting is the most contagious thing in sports.
Well, I mean, I think, what I'm kind of seeing right now is a little alarming if you're an A&M fan. I mean, I think when you look at last night and, granted A&M had its opportunities, but I mean, frankly, Texas controlled that whole game. I mean, you could really look at that game and go, UT left, 15 runners on base. I don't even want to know what their batting average was with runners in scoring position. And yet they still controlled the entire game. So, frankly, they got dominated last night. You could say, oh, well, if Lavalette hits a home run, it's a tie game. But, at the end of the day, UT, who I think is good, I don't think they're anywhere near a great team. They're just an average team right now. The fact that they controlled that game from start to finish is a little alarming if I'm A&M. And I think the other thing for me, too, and this is the thing that stands out to me bigger than anything right now when I look at A&M, is, who are the leaders on this team? So you think back to last year, and I kind of think back to last year's Texas game in Austin. And I felt like the team kind of rallied around a guy with a little bit of swagger like Dylan Rock. Who is that guy this year that A&M's rallying around? There's, Jack Moss, really, really good hitter. But, his personality isn't the kind of guy who is going to, do horns down and rile the players up and make opposing fans mad with his antics and things like that. That's not his personality. So the question becomes, who is that personality? Austin Bose isn't really that personality. So I think the other thing for me is I think there needs to be some vocal leaders kind of stand up for this team, because last year it was kind of Dylan Rock, and this year you're searching around this team looking for, a spark. I mean, you look at last night's Texas game, and there wasn't a lot. I didn't feel like A&M had a lot of emotion. It looked like they were playing and granted, midweek games don't mean as much, but I mean, it looked like they were playing a Tuesday game at Abilene Christian, not a Tuesday game at the University of Texas. So I think for me, that is what stood out from that game, is I did not see a lot of emotion out of A&M's team.
All right. Can they point to what they're supposed to do? You think they can do that?
Hey, guys, can y'all tell me what to do at the end of the rewind?
why did it feel like they forgot what to say? Like they're like 12-minute rest, comment, what's next?
They were just searching for the next thing to throw at me is all.
All right. Thanks for watching, friends. We'll see you next time.